Okay, now.
Ahora,
Again, so man is the central purpose of the creation.
el hombre es el propósito central de la creación.
And so we see that in the story.
Y esto lo vemos en la historia.
Right. I tried to explain a little bit in the other class, about this.
Traté de explicar un poco en la clase anterior.
And one thing I would say, another thing that we see here is that, for example, I'll give a parable.
Voy a dar una parábola para explicar algo que se ve aquí.
Very good. That a man, maybe a wealthy man that wants to move into a new mansion.
Como un hombre rico que quiere mudarse a una mansión nueva.
So what is he? What happens? Yeah.
¿Qué tiene que pasar?
First, they make the foundations.
Primero hacen el cimiento.
Then they make the walls and they make the roof.
Luego se establecen casquillos, paredes, techo.
Perhaps they start fixing up the lawns and the gardens.
Quizás hasta empiecen a arreglar los jardines, el pasto.
Then they put in furniture and decorations.
Y luego han de meter los muebles y las decoraciones.
Then perhaps a refrigerator with food in it.
Y luego el mandado, la comida en el refrigerador.
And after that, the person moves in.
Y después de todo eso, se muda a vivir ahí esta persona rica.
But certainly, what was the purpose of the whole thing?
Pero en realidad, durante todo el proceso, ¿cuál era el propósito de las mezclas?
It was the man. The man moves in last, but first he prepare everything else before he moves in.
Aunque lo último que se hace es la mudanza en sí de esta persona, todo lo que se hizo era con el propósito de que esta persona se mudara a vivir ahí.
Right. Right. So then we see that man. So that's how we could see from the story that man is the purpose.
Y en la historia de la
This is how,
creación
in this manner. Okay. No, it's okay. Go on.
Vemos que el hombre es el propósito de la creación.
Okay. Now, right, and then the sages really say on the first verse in the commentary of Rashi there.
Los sabios citan el comentario de Rashi en el primer versículo.
That they say two things is made. One is for the Torah and one is for the Jewish people. It says there in Rashi. That's the purpose of creation.
La creación fue llevada a cabo con dos propósitos. Uno, que es para entregar la Torah, y el otro para el pueblo judío. You said the Jewish people?
Yeah. And the thing is that which really serves what? Is it the Torah that's serving the Jewish people, or the Jewish people that's serving the Torah? That's the question.
Y surge la pregunta, entonces, ¿cuál de los propósitos sirve a cuál? ¿La Torah al pueblo judío o el pueblo judío a la Torah?
Right, so we won't be able to answer the question because we don't know we won't know personally what's in Hashem's mind.
Esa pregunta no la podemos contestar porque no conocemos lo que está en la mente de Hashem.
Right, but we have a teaching from Elijah the prophet that told us that really it's for the people. So the Torah serves the people. That's we have handed down the teaching. So then we know this point. It's not we're here for the Torah. The Torah is here for us.
Pero el profeta Elías menciona.
We have handed down a teaching from him. It's an oral teaching. It's not
Es una
in the books of the
enseñanza
prophets, whatever.
oral que ha pasado de generación en generación, una enseñanza del profeta Elías, donde él establece que la Torá sirve al pueblo judío.
Okay, so when we see, the point of the Jewish people is that we will be basically a nation that will do Hashem's will. So it's or strive to achieve Hashem's goals. That's the point of the Jewish people.
El propósito del pueblo judío es ser un pueblo que se esfuerza por cumplir los propósitos de Hashem.
Right, and no other nation is on that level that we were in this quality. So that's why we were chosen.
Ninguna otra nación estaba dispuesta o preparada en la calidad para lograr este propósito. Por eso fue escogido el pueblo judío.
Yeah, and just that we, basically individuals, could step forward and like we talked about with the Noachide rules. The door is open for any individual to step forward, even to convert if they wanted.
Aunque la puerta ha estado y sigue estando abierta para individuos que quieran aprender las 7 leyes noágidas o aún hasta convertirse al judaísmo.
So therefore we say the world is created for the Jewish people, but that includes any individual in the world that wants can be part of the Jewish people.
Entonces decimos, el mundo fue creado para el pueblo judío, pero también para cualquier persona que esté dispuesta a vivir bajo las leyes noágidas o las leyes judías.
And right, and of course, this point itself is very important to realize this thing that the world, the purpose of the world is man.
En este momento del estudio es importante que quede claro que el hombre es el propósito de la creación.
Because people if you don't, only the Torah makes this clear. I mean,
solamente la Torá deja claro este principio.
In the crazy world that we live today, there are people that don't look at it. They have a different way of looking at things, and they also have degrees from important people, whatever. They have a different way. They think they know how to look at things, how to see things.
En el loco mundo que nos tocó vivir, hay diferentes concepciones o maneras de percibir la creación y al hombre.
Right, and therefore they can come to conclusions that it's I don't even want to talk about it, but they can come to terrible conclusions if they don't understand if you don't understand this.
Si uno pierde de vista que el hombre es el propósito de la creación, puede llegar a conclusiones devastadoras que no quiere el Rab ni mencionarlas.
Okay. So anyhow, now we get to in the verse where it says where Hashem is going to create person, and He says, "Let us make man." It says.
Entonces vamos al verso donde dice, hagamos al hombre.
Right, and then there's a famous question: what is this? That "let us" implies a partnership in creation.
Esta palabra en plural, hagamos, sugiere un trabajo en sociedad, en asociación con alguien más.
Right, and so then a person could think maybe there's many creators, and that's one could come into a person's mind.
Pudiera alguien pensar que hay muchos creadores o varios.
Possibly, and so then the sage is this: why was it made? Why was it written in such a manner that the people could come to think something mistaken?
Y los sabios se cuestionaron, ¿por qué quedó escrito o expresado en esta forma tan fácil de que quienes lo lean puedan llegar a conclusiones equivocadas?
Right. Now, now it's certainly, you can see clearly that only God created, and right in the next verse, which is verse 27, chapter 1, verse 27, you can see clearly that it's singular, so then only God created.
Si seguimos leyendo en el versículo 27 de ese capítulo 1 de Bereshit, ya notamos que el Creador está solo creando en singular.
Right. So then, if So then, if somebody got a mistaken thought, so then it should be corrected by the time he gets to the next verse.
Así es de que si en el verso anterior la persona se confunde, debería de enderezarse en este versículo.
Right. Just that actually the sages say that this is a rule for the whole Torah. That every time there's some possibility of making a mistake, then you could see nearby it's corrected.
Y esta es una regla que se cumple en el estudio de toda la Torah. Si hay algo que no está claro, si seguimos leyendo, se aclara.
Right. It could be it's a principle for in everything in the world. It may be a principle like this that applies. It's true. Not only could be.
Y quizás sea un principio para la vida en general en todo el mundo, no nomás en el estudio de la Torah.
Right. And this is also the sages said that this rule.
Pero los sabios lo destacaron como una regla.
Right. But still, the question again, we go back to the question: why state it? Why, at least for one verse, in such a way that we can may make a mistake?
Pero aún así, estamos considerando la pregunta, ¿por qué quedó estipulado, escrito, declarado de esta manera en plural como para confundir a algunos?
Right. So Rashi says the reason why Hashem said this is to teach humility.
Rashi nos explica que la razón por la que quedó escrito de esta manera hagamos es para enseñar humildad, para enseñarnos la
That when
humildad de Hashem.
right. So when you do something, you take counsel. When you do, before you act, I mean, to whom it concerns, whatever, with whom it concerns, you take counsel.
Cuando una persona tiene una idea de llevar a cabo un proyecto, consulta a aquellos a los que su proyecto va a afectar.
Right. And so then Hashem wanted to teach this lesson of humility.
Y Hashem quería mostrarnos esta lección de humildad.
But people could make a mistake, at least for one verse long, a person could make a mistake.
Pero aún así, hay gentes que pueden equivocarse con un verso.
During this, before they get to the next verse, they can have a mistaken perception.
Antes de llegar al verso que sigue, pudieran ya estar errando en su percepción.
Right. But so then there's a rule that says the Torah is not concerned that a person who can't think, who's not really a serious person is going to make a mistake about things, because the Torah is concerned about, it's more important to teach the lessons that we need to learn.
En la economía de la enseñanza de la Torah, le es más importante enseñar un principio que evitar que unos pocos cometan un error.
Right. So then here there's a lesson about humility. So then this lesson takes precedence over people who maybe will make a mistake and not think the right way for one verse.
Aquí tenemos un verso cuyo propósito es enseñar humildad, no obstante que haya algunos que erren al leerlo.
Okay. Now, there's others, I mean, later commentaries that explain this, let us make man differently.
También hay otros comentaristas que tratan de explicar sobre esta palabra en plural, hagamos.
Right, and so they say, I don't remember distinctly the names, but it's older commentaries even from hundreds of years ago.
No recuerdo ahorita los nombres, pero son comentaristas que vivieron cientos de años atrás.
And they say, let us make man actually refers to man himself.
Y ellos dicen que esta frase de hagamos al hombre se refiere al hombre mismo.
And so that means that was the concept that we were teaching the other day, that man Hashem picks man to be a partner with him in creation.
Y esto hace eco a lo que hemos ya mencionado en clases anteriores, que el hombre fue escogido por Hashem para ser su socio.
Right. And the most important thing of creation is man. Creation, the whole of creation is made for the purpose of man.
Toda la creación, en toda su magnitud, magnificencia, en todos los detalles, tenían por propósito prepararse para recibir al hombre.
Right, but to do what with a man? What do they want to do with a man? What should be done with a man?
Pero ¿qué había de hacerse con el hombre?
So there's another. Listen, there's a verse in John in Eov. We have
Hay un verso en el libro de Job
that para Adam Yivalek, that from a wild donkey turn a wild donkey into a man. That's what it says there.
En el libro de Job hay un verso que dice algo de convertir a un asno salvaje en un hombre.
Right. So it means that the man. This is the task of man. The man is to. A man is like you have a soul, sure, but you have also like an animalistic part.
El hombre tiene alma, pero también tiene una parte animal.
And the goal of a person is to tame this beast.
Y el propósito es llegar a domar esta parte animal.
That's called turn a wild donkey into a man.
Eso es convertir un burrico, un asno salvaje en un hombre.
So here Hashem says, "Let us make man."
Y aquí Hashem dice, hagamos al hombre.
Which means the creation that I made and also the Torah that I made for man.
Aquí dice la creación que hice y la Torah que hice para el hombre.
For man, and plus you man will be a partner into making a man.
Y además, tú, hombre, harás tu parte en hacer al hombre.
Meaning to take the wild donkey and turn it into a man.
Esto es tomar al asno salvaje y convertirlo en un hombre.
Right. I mean, so you can ask, if you want, Hashem could have made it that we're not partners. If you want, Hashem could have made it that we come out complete, but no wild donkeys. If Hashem wanted.
Si Hashem así lo hubiera deseado, él podría haber hecho las cosas de otra manera, sin llevar a cabo esto de convertir del asno salvaje al hombre.
Yeah, very good. You found the verse. Very good. And just that, what kind of world would that be?
¿Qué tipo de mundo sería ese?
Hashem would say, hey, look at me. I'm so great that I made a world of people who do exactly what I want them to do and whatever.
Diría Hashem, mírenme, hice un mundo como yo quise, como yo lo quise.
A whole world full of robots.
Un mundo entero lleno de robots.
And all the robots would all say, Shema Yisrael, exactly on time, and so on and so forth.
Todos los hombres robots a la misma hora estarían diciendo el Shema.
Would that be the greatness of Hashem?
¿Eso realmente expresaría la grandeza de Hashem?
Right. So really Hashem had humility. It's humility where he said, Hashem had humility, and that says, I will let it that you yourself have a chance to make yourself. I will give you that place where you yourself could create.
Entonces Hashem nos dice a la humanidad, les doy la oportunidad a que ustedes se hagan a sí mismos.
So a person himself we also can get a certain piece of greatness in the creation of ourselves.
Y en lograr esta creación de nosotros mismos, nosotros también tenemos parte y honor.
And even though, of course, the man in the world can distort this power and then start thinking that man is all powerful and so on and so forth.
Aunque haya gente en el mundo que tome esta oportunidad y lo distorsione y haga mal uso de esta oportunidad.
But still, Hashem had humility, like he's prepared to hide himself in the world and act as if that if a person wants, he can deceive himself, imagine that Hashem is not even here.
Y aún así, Hashem opta por mostrar su humildad al estar presente sin hacerse, imponerse como presente. Está ahí, pero no se impone.
Right. It's as if a person could even perceive as if could people you see in the world, people walk around and act as if Hashem they do all kinds of things. They build skyscrapers and they act as if, well, look how high my skyscraper and so on and so on.
La humildad de Hashem a veces es mal interpretada por los hombres que llegan a tener logros como construir los rascacielos y decir, mira lo que yo hice, qué grande soy, lo que he logrado.
Right. If you walk around in Manhattan, so then all you see, or you look up, all you see is these giant buildings. Nothing else exists except for these buildings.
Si uno va a la ciudad de Nueva York, ahí en Manhattan, y voltea hacia arriba, lo único que puede ver son edificios altísimos.
It's as if nothing else exists.
Como si nada más existiera.
But so that this is a great humility.
Entonces, esto es una gran humildad por parte
that Hashem had.
que Hashem muestra.
And that's really in this way of learning. So that's the lesson of this verse. I mean,
y esta es la lección de este verso.
In this way of learning, according to those teachers.
De acuerdo a esta manera de estudiar y aprender con estos maestros.
And so then the question is again. So we asked the question as before, which is why did Hashem make it in a way that we could be mistaken in it?
¿Por qué Hashem escribió el 1:26 en esta manera que puede llegar a ser confuso?
So we understand that this it's worthwhile to make it in that way because of course it is lesson. I mean.
De acuerdo o por el propósito de esta lección de humildad, vale la pena que haya quedado redactado en una forma que pudiera crear confusión.
Right, now you wanted to say something. You wanted to say something. There was something that came to your mind somehow.
A ver, que si había algo que vino a mi mente. Well, I didn't write it down. I forgot it.
No, I think maybe I could say what you would think. I think.
Dice el rap que cree que me puede adivinar qué andaba yo pensando o dudando.
That the fact that the verse is written in this way itself is humility.
El hecho de que el versículo haya quedado escrito de esta manera es humildad.
That itself is humility, because he doesn't, that people could come start thinking something that there were other, that he wasn't the only creator, but still he didn't hold back from writing in this way.
Él sabía que esta confusión iba a surgir, pero aún así él decidió que quedara escrito de esta manera.
Right.
Bueno, pues yo lo que pienso, lo que he estado pensando a lo largo de esta explicación es, este es el primer versículo en la Torá de donde el cristianismo defiende su Trinidad. What I've been thinking all along was that Christianity holds on to this verse as a statement to defend their Trinity.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. This is what we have. This is what we have in our teachings.
They're so far away from the truth. Están tan alejados de la verdad. Solo bastaba leer el siguiente verso. They only needed to read the next verse.
Yeah, that's right. That's one thing, and also they missed out on the entire the importance of the role of man in the world. That was lost. To them.
Y el cristianismo al tratar de ver aquí una Trinidad se pierden de la enseñanza grandiosa del propósito que Dios tiene con el hombre como su socio en manejar
Right.
esta creación.
Okay, and we'll see more about these things as we go on. For now, see if there's questions or comments for
Okay,
today.
let me see. Shirel, Rab, todo fue creado en dualidad como la luz y la oscuridad. ¿Se puede decir positivo y negativo? Como el hombre tiene su ayuda contraria, que es Java, para su
Right.
crecimiento. Okay, so
Right.
she states that on the narrative of that first chapter, we see that everything was created like in pairs, like a positive and a
Right.
negative.
Right.
Could we
right.
say it that way? Even man.
Yeah, that definitely the sages say everything, not in pairs so much, but everything was made to have the contrary, along with its contrary. That we say. That the sages say.
Sí, los sabios así lo enseñan, no tanto como creado en pares, en parejas, sino con una contraparte.
Right, but I'm not going to say. I think she mentioned man and woman as if they were counterparts.
Yes.
That we're not going to say.
Pero no voy a decir que esta enseñanza de la contraparte se dé también entre marido y mujer.
Man and woman that they. I don't know. That means I don't know. The sages say if a person merits, then it becomes like they are together, a partnership together. But if they don't merit, then it is contrary. That's what the sages say.
Los sabios explican que si las personas involucradas en el matrimonio tienen el mérito, entonces van a vivir unidas. Pero si no tienen el mérito, se van a separar.
To be contrary. They'll be
Entonces,
counter, not separate. They
y
can still
van
be
a,
married,
o
but they'll
sea,
be opposing
no
forces.
están unidas, no trabajan juntos por un propósito, van a ser contrario, va a ser contraparte,
Right.
si no tienen el mérito.
Right.
A ver, ¿alguna otra? En el primer libro de los Reyes hay una historia que involucra una reunión en el cielo. Un ángel le dice a Hashem, iré como un espíritu de mentira a la boca de los profetas, y a
Right.
Hashem le parece bien y lo envía. Johnny mentions that in the book of Kings, in the
Yeah.
first book of Kings, there's this angel that offers himself to come and
Yes.
restore.
Oh, we were talking about that yesterday with Novice. The sages say that angel was Novice. They say.
No,
Yesterday we talked about Novice, the one with the vineyard. So that
okay.
angel they say
Sí.
was the one with the vineyard.
Okay.
That was him.
La última clase hablábamos de Nabot y su viña, y los sabios dicen que este ángel era Nabot.
Because he took away his vineyard, so that's why. But I don't know what his question was. I didn't understand what the question. You understood what his question was?
Johnny, nomás lo comentaste, no hiciste alguna pregunta. Alicia, Shalom, Rab, como dice que Hashem separó las aguas de arriba con las de abajo, ¿quiere decir que todo era agua? Alicia asks, since it said that Hashem separated the waters from above from the waters underneath, was it all water?
Now, if you want to look at it in a physical way, I explained it the other day in a spiritual way. I mean,
el otro día lo expliqué en una manera espiritual.
But if you want to
Pero
look at
si
it
lo quieres
physically,
ver de manera física,
then they say that there is water in outer space and that it comes into this world also. They say that. I heard that scientifically it's been shown also that a certain amount of water comes from up above somewhere. But I don't know for sure. I don't know. It does come. I don't know for sure about it because they don't find water so much on other planets. I'm not sure about it, but maybe there is. I don't know. They say that it comes from outer space. I've heard it said like this. That a certain amount
los
of rain comes from outer
científicos
space.
han dicho que hay agua que aún nosotros recibimos que viene de fuera del espacio. No han encontrado agua en los planetas, pero en el espacio sí. Alicia dice, no entiendo la parte donde dice que el espíritu de Hashem se movía sobre la faz de las aguas, porque dice, ¿por qué dice espíritu? Cuando él creaba el mundo, ¿estaba también el resto del universo? Alicia says, I don't really understand how come it says that the Ruach of Hashem moved over the waters.
Right.
Was the universe created when he was doing the earth? That's Alicia's question.
The stars, it says, were made on the on the afterwards on later on the fourth day it says he made the stars. So if the universe refers to the stars, and also it says hirakia later on. Also, there should be a division right when he right at that point. Listen, I don't know. The thing is, this part can get extremely complicated, and so I can't really get involved in it because I myself can't explain all of these things. I can't explain these things fully. I can't explain any of these things. I have to tell you the truth.
Dice, decir
If
la
you start
verdad,
going into it, it gets extremely complicated, and I can't bear the load of this just such thing.
dice, yo no puedo
It's too heavy.
con la carga de esta pregunta porque esto es tan complicado que yo mismo no logro comprender todos los detalles.
It's too heavy. It's too heavy.
Es muy pesado. And Alicia also
And
asked,
there's
are
other
there,
books, many books of Kabbalah and this and that. If you can go into it and to try to understand exactly how everything fits together, I don't know.
dice que hay libros de Kabbalah que entran en este tema y lo tratan de explicar.
Right, but I can't. I have to say the truth. I'm not able to understand.
Pero yo debo de decir
There's
la
a lot of
verdad.
things I know I'm not able to understand. That's a fact.
Hay muchas cosas que yo no logro entender. Alicia
I only
wants
try
to know,
to stick to the lessons that I could try to absorb that I could live. If I have in order to live my life, you have to have lessons that you can live your life by these lessons. So in order to live your life by them, you have to understand them. So things that I don't understand, maybe what can I do?
dice que él enseña lo que entiende y vive. Pero
Or you
estas
try to. You
temas,
before you can live it, you have to understand it.
antes de vivirlo, lo tiene uno que entender.
Right. At some point, you get to when you start asking questions. I get to where I'm not able to understand everything. That's it.
Y a veces cuando estamos en estas preguntas, yo sé que hay cosas que yo no quiero tomar, no entiendo. Are there living beings in other planets?
You know what? If it concerned us, then it would tell us about it.
Bueno, Alicia, esa pregunta de si hay seres en otros planetas, dice el Rab que si eso habría de afectarnos, que hubiera o que no hubiera, estaría estipulado en la Torah.
Because everything's important. It tells us everything that we really
Porque
need to know for
todo
our
lo
lives. It
que
tells
es
us.
importante y relevante en nuestra compostura está en la Torah. Y eso no es
Right now, certainly there are other things like angels, and there are things like demons and stuff like that. That we know for sure that they're around.
Ahora, si la pregunta tuviera que ver con ángeles y demonios, esa es otra cosa, que eso sí existe.
No, we know that there are like these things, angels and demons. So therefore, all the phenomenon, let's say, for example, in the world, you have phenomenon of UFOs. They can easily be explained based on they could be angels and demons.
Estos apariciones de UFOs, objetos voladores no identificados, pudieran ser la manifestación de estas entes espirituales también.
Right. So
Ángeles y
therefore,
demonios.
we right. So we don't. They say that they have pretty clear proof of these UFOs now. That's what they say in the world.
Se dice que hay evidencias de estos objetos voladores no identificados en el mundo.
I myself saw one. I myself.
Yo mismo he visto uno, dice el Rab.
So just that it's not. It doesn't mean that therefore just because they see a flying saucer doesn't mean that for sure there's people in outer space. Something like man in outer space. I mean, these are things that over here that the demons and stuff like that are play with people. That's all.
El hecho de que veamos los platillos no necesariamente están atestiguando el hecho de que haya vida fuera en otros planetas. Pudiera ser que la maldad y la mentira estén jugando con nuestra mente, engañándonos. Johnny,
these demons, I don't know what you said.
A estos demonios.
Demons, right.
Que nos
And
engañan.
people have testified clearly that they saw flying saucers. So.
Y hay testimonios de gentes que dicen haber visto platillos voladores. Bueno, Johnny enriquece su comentario y dice, la pregunta es si así funcionaba también en la creación. Se reunían en el cielo y planeaban cada cosa que iban a crear con la autorización de Hashem. Johnny is now adding a commentary to his previous commentary. He says that, or he states a question that maybe that incident in First Kings has to do with like what Hashem does when he inquires among many what to do on the earth.
I see what you're saying. I see what his point was.
And even in Job, we also
Right, but it
see
wasn't over there. It wasn't really Hashem didn't really ask opinion over there. It wasn't. He didn't ask for an opinion over there.
Ok, en Primera de Reyes, Hashem no pidió el comentario de Johnny, no pidió opiniones.
He asked for volunteers. I mean, who's going to
Más bien,
volunteer for?
pidió por voluntarios.
And they say somewhere the sages say that he was punished for doing that. That you can't, if you want to, you're never supposed to be a party in causing harm to any person, and you can get punished for doing that.
Y los sabios comentan que Nabot luego recibió su castigo porque nosotros no nos debemos de voluntariar para castigar a alguien.
What does it mean that he volunteered? What does it mean? He wasn't in this world anymore. What does it mean?
¿Qué quiere decir eso de que se hizo voluntario? Él ya no estaba en este mundo, él ya había muerto.
That means Mistama, probably right when he was about to be killed over there, he knew what happened before he died.
Nabot antes de morir supo el chasco, la estafa que le hicieron, el juicio corrupto del que murió.
Right. And so imagine how angry he must have felt at that time. I mean.
Imagínense el coraje que tenía Nabot antes de morir.
So this anger is and desire to take revenge. I mean.
Este coraje y deseo de venganza.
So this went up with him. He carried with him into the next world. I mean.
Se lo llevó a la otra vida.
So then, when there was a chance for revenge, he went and took revenge. I mean, he went and got revenge, grabbed it. I mean.
Así es de que a la primera oportunidad de vengarse la tomó.
Right.
Ok, Joseph, hijo de Tito López, pregunta, ¿por qué Hashem hizo la dualidad?
Oh,
Why
wow.
did Hashem create duality?
Wow, I'm so happy to hear from him. Shalom, I'm so happy to hear from him.
Que le da mucho gusto escuchar.
Wow, I haven't heard
conectado.
from him in a long time. I have to think about this question. Why does Hashem make it?
Duality.
The reason is because Hashem didn't want to make it. That let's say you play a game of soccer. Imagine you're playing a game of soccer.
Imagínate que estás jugando un partido de fútbol soccer.
But instead of the other team there's no other team at all. There's no team there at all. They have 11 people on your side and there's nobody on the other side.
Llegó tu equipo uniformado, 11 jugadores listos para jugar, pero no hay equipo contrincante.
How many goals would you get?
¿Cuántos goles meterías?
You can get 1,000 goals.
1000 goles.
But would it be satisfying?
Pero ¿sería satisfactorio?
What is it? No.
Claro que no.
So that's the answer to the question. I mean,
entonces esa es la respuesta a la pregunta de Joseph, hijo de Tito López. Bueno, Karina, Rabino, ¿y si Sol y Luna se hicieron en día 4, por qué dice en el día 1 que haya luz y llamó a la luz día y a la noche oscuridad? Si no había sol, por tanto no había luz. Did you get it, or do you want
yes. So therefore, I mean, we understand this question is talked about in the commentaries and all that.
Esta pregunta la toman y la responden en los comentarios en Torah.
Right. So therefore, the light and darkness is talked about in the beginning must be it's not so much the way we understand this. It means spiritual things. I mean, that's the basic way of looking at it.
Básicamente, pudiéramos entender que la luz del primer día tiene que ver con cosas espirituales.
So it's spiritual light and spiritual darkness.
Hay luz espiritual y oscuridad espiritual.
And so the light that we receive is only maybe some part of that light is in this light that we have, and the darkness also.
Y solo una parte de esa luz es la que tenemos en en el sol,
In our day, yeah, in our day and night.
y ahora en nuestro día y noche. Ok, Johnny, en una película que vi, el protagonista dijo esta frase: solo Dios puede perdonarnos. Yo me encargaré de reunirlos con él, refiriéndose a sus enemigos, y al final, protagonista muere a manos de sus enemigos. Intercambia su vida por la vida de una niña que estaba secuestrada. In a movie that I saw, uh, the main character said, only God can forgive them, but I'm in charge of gathering them for him. Um, Speaking of his enemies, at the end of the movie, he dies because he exchanges his own life in behalf of saving a girl that was kidnapped.
Mhm.
Okay, Johnny
I
Viola.
don't know. It's fictional, and it confuses me and confounds me and makes my head spin. And I'm glad it's not something that I have to study.
Dice el Rap que le da gracias a Dios que esto es ficción y no tiene realmente que ponerse a estudiar y entenderlo porque lo confunde, lo marea. Bueno,
Right,
Josué,
the sages' words are pure and holy, and it brings understanding of things. This is I don't know what it brings. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't I
esto
don't want
solo
to think about
confunde,
it.
no sé qué cosas buenas traiga. Bueno, Joseph dijo gracias. Joseph said
Oh,
thanks.
you're welcome.
En Josué Rabino, ¿y cómo se le responde a aquellas personas que creen que el mundo tiene millones de años? How would you answer people that say that the world is millions of years old?
Well, one thing is that Hashem could easily make the world in such a manner so people could be deceived in such a way. That's first of all.
Pues el mundo fue creado en una manera tal que habrá quienes fallen al tratar de concluir cómo sucedió, cómo se originó.
Okay, because we see explicitly it says. I mean, this is what we just finished saying, that it said God created light and darkness.
Porque acabamos de decir que Hashem creó la luz y la oscuridad.
And light, so light means spiritual. That means be able the man to be able to see things correctly in the world, or what's right in the world.
Esa luz espiritual que él creó significa poder llegar a la verdad.
That means we could look at the world and say, this world, let's say, for example, DNA can't be created without a creator, because no human can make something so sophisticated. It has to be created. It can't be accident. That's one thing.
Un ejemplo, el ADN. El ADN tuvo que ser creado por el Eterno. No puede ser ni accidente ni ha podido ser reproducido por la ciencia.
Right. Now you want to say that it appears in the world. So there we could see clearly that there is a creator. It's clear as day.
Estudiando el ADN uno puede ver claramente que hubo un diseñador, hubo un creador.
Clear as day.
Tan claro como el día.
But now you're going to say that they're able to know that the world is millions of years old. Let's say this is true. I don't believe it's true even, but if you say that that's true.
Esos mismos científicos que no pueden reproducir el ADN nos están diciendo que el mundo tiene millones de años.
Right. I don't believe they really know. They just they're not really unbiased. That's first of all, they don't really know. That's first of all.
En verdad, realmente no lo saben, pero tienen una tendencia a defender una postura.
Right. And this is proven. It's proven already many times over that they're not able to understand clearly how old anything is, and it's shown again and again and again that they're mistaken.
Una y otra vez se ha puesto de manifiesto que en sus métodos para discernir la antigüedad de algo han fallado una y otra vez.
Okay, but even given if it's true, even given that it is true that they're able to know, let's say they're able to know.
Pero démosle el beneficio de la duda y digamos que pudieran llegar a conocer la antigüedad de algo.
Still, God created the world that there should be darkness in the world also. So there should be one thing against the other. It should be like a soccer game with another team on the also.
Y así como en el partido de fútbol soccer hay dos equipos, pues Hashem creó tanto la luz para llegar a la verdad como la oscuridad que impide entender la verdad. Y las dos fuerzas están encontradas.
It's exactly this verse also, which God said, let us make man. It's exactly the same thing as that verse.
Lo mismo sucede con el verso que estuvimos comentando en clase de hagamos al hombre.
Right. The fact that the world may be millions of years old doesn't contradict the fact that God created it, or the story of creation that we know about.
El hecho de que el mundo llegase a tener millones de años de antigüedad no contradice, no cancela la narración de la creación.
Right, because we can define exactly what a day of in the Creator, when he says one day, it can't be defined exactly what that means.
Porque no tenemos definido como regla cuánto mide el día de la creación mencionado en el primer capítulo.
Right. In the least case, we usually say that a day of God is 1,000 years. That's what we usually say.
Lo que normalmente se dice es que un día del Eterno es como 1000 años de los nuestros. Ok, a ver.
Right, but of course, Hashem is beyond time. You're not allowed to say that Hashem is limited by time in any way.
No estamos diciendo que Hashem está limitado por el tiempo. Eso no lo estamos diciendo.
Okay, because you're not allowed to say that.
Okay. Shalom, si todo fue creado en dualidad, ¿por qué el sexto día fue creado los animales y el hombre? ¿Dónde estaría creada la dualidad? If everything was done in duality, on the sixth day, where is it if animals and men were created?
Well, animals and man are not a duality.
Entonces, ¿los animales y el hombre no son dualidad?
Because if you want, you could say that they are. I don't understand what you're saying anyhow about duality, because I didn't say anything about that every single piece has to be made. Overall, there is duality, but I didn't say every single thing has to be duality in that thing. That I don't know. And
Isabel
anyhow, but
dice, no entiendo bien lo que comentas, porque yo no dije que cada cosa tiene su dualidad, sino que a manera general en el mundo están estas dos fuerzas de la dualidad.
Now, on the sixth day, it does say he created man and woman, so maybe that's duality, or man and animal, that is duality, possibly. I don't know if you say that it has to have duality, so then you don't have enough duality there.
Si tienes que ver dualidad en cada día de la creación, pues pudiera ser hombre y animal, o el hombre y su mujer.
Because it says on the sixth day, it says he created man and woman.
Porque en el sexto día los crió a ambos, al hombre y a la mujer.
That's what it says there in the verse.
Eso dice en el verso. Johnny, yo estudié escritura de guión para cine, y de cada cosa que aprendo de la Torá se puede apreciar en algunos casos en historias de ficción. Johnny says that he did study how to create a movie.
Yeah, I know. He studied
the theme of the movie. Yeah. And when he studies Torah, he can see that many of the facts of Torah are present in fiction movies.
Very good. Reb Nachman of Breslev also said such an idea.
El Rab Nachman de Breslev también expresó esta idea, Johnny.
He said that all the stories basically in the world are basically they need to be repaired, and then they would be good. But the problem is that they're broken.
Nachman de Breslev dice que todas las historias del mundo necesitan ser reparadas porque están quebradas o dañadas.
So they're like good, just that they need repair. That's
Son buenas, pero necesitan reparación.
So that's why when you say the story, it makes my head spin, because I feel like it's a broken story. I don't know how to fix it. Nachman of Breslev knew how to fix stories. That's why he made a whole book of stories.
Yeah. Bueno, dice que esto es tan real de que todas las historias tienen algo mucho bueno, pero que están dañadas. Es lo que a él le atormenta en su cerebro tratar de arreglarlas. Pero el Rab Nachman de Breslev tenía esa habilidad de tomar estas historias que han surgido en diferentes partes del mundo y repararlas y hacer de ellas una historia con una enseñanza universal.
Right. He made a whole book of stories.
Y el Rav Nachman de Breslev es famoso por cuentos y por libros que escribió de historias.
Right, but the problem is I don't know how to do this. What Nachman Breslov did. So then I just left with my head spinning. That's.
Pero el problema es que yo no soy como el Rav Nachman de Breslev. Me cuentas una historia y a mí nomás me da vueltas y vueltas la cabeza. Yo no la puedo aterrizar. Bueno, Joseph pregunta por qué Hashem creó el mundo venidero. Joseph wants to know why Hashem had to create the Olam Haba.
Why? Because would he play a soccer game that would go on forever without any end?
Entonces te contesta con el mismo fútbol, soccer. ¿Te gustaría jugar un partido de soccer que no tuviera límite de tiempo? Que el partido durara siempre.
Right. You have to have, we understand that there has to come an end, and because if else, then nobody can claim that they won, that they won the game. It would remain stuck forever.
Todos entendemos que el partido tarde que temprano debe de terminar. Aún los de béisbol tan largos con sus 9 innings, pero alguien tiene que salir victorioso. El partido tiene que concluir. Karina, ¿y qué va a pasar con las personas que no lleguen a la verdad de quién es Hashem? Pero son personas buenas que hacen el bien, solo que están ciegas respecto a su fe. What would happen with good people that never heard or understood about Hashem? They are good at heart, but they have lived all their lives blinded in regards to their faith.
I believe we were learning in the other class, but it's very, very, very late. I have to run already. But we were learning in the other class. We learned that there are some things where a person can't claim that I didn't know. I didn't know about it. So this is also one of these things where a person can't claim I didn't know that there was a creator. Nobody can claim like that.
Bueno, dice que ya es muy tarde, ya se tiene que ir. Pero en la clase anterior estuvimos comentando de faltas a las 7 leyes no ágidas, que está muy difícil que la persona tenga la excusa de decir, es que yo nunca me imaginé, nunca supe que fuera así.
Right, and this is something that it's part of human nature itself to say that there is a creator, and anybody, it's part of the human being. The soul of a human being says there is a creator, and you can't say that, you can't pretend, whatever. You can't say you didn't know.
El alma de todo ser humano intuye que hay un creador.
Right, and these, of course, all the people that claim there isn't are all idiots, basically, but soon it will be revealed in the world that they were liars and idiots.
Pronto va a ser revelado en todo el mundo que así fue y que hubo mentirosos que engañaron a las multitudes.
But now we call them professors. That's all.
Ahora en día los llamamos profesores de las universidades. Pero realmente, the professors in the university, but really they are starting to mess up with children's brains, even in kindergarten. Decimos que estos profesores de la universidad son unos filósofos mentirosos que roban la fe de nuestros hijos, pero desde el kinder empieza.
It's big lies, but that's okay. This is the world that we live in. We have to fight against these things. That's all. But every human being can understand that these things simply. You don't need even if you didn't go to, you don't need anything. You don't need college. Even a small child can understand these things already.
Este es el mundo en el que nos tocó vivir, con tantas mentiras, pero aún un niño pequeño, si se da tiempo para pensar las cosas, puede concluir que hay un creador. Shirel, Rab, antes de que la Torá fuera escrita por Moshe, ¿solo era oral, dicho por cada sabio de cada generación? Por favor, explíqueme si estoy equivocada. Shirel wants to know if before the Torah, the written Torah was given, the oral Torah was passed on generation through generation.
Yeah, certainly. We have in our tradition that there was a yeshiva of Shem and Aver.
Así es, Shirel. En nuestra preparación en las yeshivas sabemos que hubo una yeshiva de Shem
In our
del hijo de
tradition,
Noah.
we have handed down, it's taught in our tradition that there was a yeshiva of Shem and Abraham.
Así es la enseñanza en la tradición judía, que hubo una yeshiva en casa de Shem.
Sure, and we ourselves have traditions from Shem himself, decrees and rules that we follow from Shem, from himself, that we say, this was decreed by Shem.
Y en lo que estudian los judíos, hay cosas que ellos saben que el origen o la procedencia de donde les llegó esa enseñanza es directamente de Shem.
In the Talmud, there are decree. We have at least one decree that says this was decreed by Shem.
En el Talmud hay por lo menos un decreto que dice, esto fue decretado por Shem. Isabel, muchas gracias, Raf, por su tiempo. Okay.
We got to finish up.
Gracias,
I
Abel,
actually have to give another class in about 10 minutes. And, okay, be well, everybody. I understand
que
that
todos estén bien.
people
Bye-bye.
have to get